green going on over
Oh my
here.
gosh, yeah, it's kind of, look at this.
All type of spectrums going on.
But also, like match. Shut up, Chandler. We actually are starting today's show with a topic that I'm not excited to talk about, but we will. Thanks a lot, Shams, yesterday for ruining everybody's day with the tweet about Victor Wembanyama, who will be sidelined with a left calf strain. I feel like we've been saying those words a lot. There are going to be updates as appropriate. Sat out against the Kings on Sunday. He played 38 minutes against the Warriors on Friday. Mitch Johnson said that the tightness is not something, obviously, that you want to take lightly. We've seen it too many times, and what has happened around the league. Okay, the calf injury part. Let's just start there, because even on our thread, we're like, what is going on with the calf injuries?
Well, especially if it was the play that Pods kind of took his legs out there, not intentional there, but this is something that you're going to worry about consistently when you're talking about Victor Wembanyama and his health and just kind of longevity of his career. We've never seen anybody with this kind of size and length and the way he moves, so we don't really know how to handle it, right? And I just know this is not going to be something they're going to rush back. And you guys are nuts, Michelle.
Seriously, literally drinking my water.
But again, it's scary, right? This is the worst thing that could possibly happen for them. He is their all-world everything. He is the anchor of that defense. Thank goodness they have some depth. They have, a lot of great guards that can kind of collectively get the job done while he's out. They got bigs like Cornette, Biyombo. I can see them going a little small ball lineups with Harrison Barnes and Sohan and Keldon Johnson playing kind of that 4-5. But it's going to be a huge blow to them just because of what he obviously gives them on the defensive end, offensively, everything. But you just hate to see it. They're off to such a good start. It's been nothing but positive energy and buzz around this franchise. And now you kind of have him down for a couple of weeks at minimum. It's just a tough blow for them early in the season when they're kind of on the rise.
Yeah, and collectively around the league, I don't know what to make of all of these calf strains, right? This is a particularly new thing that we're starting to hear in the NBA. Usually it's knees and ankles and things of that nature, and now we're starting to hear the term overuse. When it comes to these calf strains. So I don't know really what to make of it. We've seen how catastrophic it can be for a guy's career when that leads to the Achilles and all of those other things, the kinetic things that's connected to that. So hopefully this is something that is only a multiple week issue for Wemby and the rest of the guys that are dealing with this throughout the league. But yeah, this is interesting. It's starting to become a thing.
What do you guys do, like, when you're playing? Like, what? Because I remember, like, Jordan had all the sleeves and everything else was going on. What modern day is
that's
happening?
That's what I mean. It's like, this can't be like a load management thing, right? It's 14 games in the season. I think a lot of this stuff...
He also missed a lot of time with the blood clots.
That's what I mean. A lot of this stuff is inevitable, right? It's going to happen, especially with a guy like him, who, again, I don't think trainers are prepared. They don't know what to expect. It's like a Zion. When you have that kind of explosiveness, that kind of athleticism in a human body, it's hard to keep on the floor. Same thing with him. So I think there's always going to be kind of ups and downs with his health. And like Lou just said, you don't really want to rush this back because, knock on wood, something more severe like an Achilles, something like that. Now we're talking he's out for the season. So this is something I think they'll have to be extremely patient with. This is why they go and get a Luke Cornette. This is why they go and sign, some of those other bodies like a Biyombo, because you got to factor that this guy is going to miss some time, which is just part of the game. But this, like that play, you can't predict that. You can't expect that.
And you know what else? You also, this can be a legitimate injury, but you also know sometimes you might have something that you're dealing with, and the team will say, we're going to shut you down until we figure out what's going on, and we're going to put it out there that it's a calf strain or some of these things. But it can be more serious sometimes than reported, and sometimes it can also be a little less strenuous as well as reported. So like I said, hopefully this is something that he can get over in 2 to 3 weeks where he can get back into the swing of things. And some of these other guys, like...
These names are big.
Yeah, and he's a growing man. Like we talked about him growing 2 inches over the course of a summer. Like that's a lot, especially for somebody who's already 7'4", 7'5". And so there's going to be some bumps and some bruises along the way. I can only imagine what his body is going through, when you're adjusting, when you're dealing with growing pains at such a young age and at such a tall height. Like it's a lot.
Did you guys have calf strains?
No.
I mean, it kind of went straight to my knees, honestly. But like,
because look at the names that have had recent calf. AD, Ja, Drew Holiday, Luka, Hallie.
It's no similarities. Like some of these guys are grounded, some of these guys are high flyers. You got guards, you got bigs. So I don't see anything where I can really tie this into something. I would like more information.
We're talking about all the stuff MJ and stuff used to do. We have so much more advanced medical stuff now, where they're doing the cryo chambers, they're doing the cold plunge, they're getting massaging.
Maybe you just need a good old-fashioned sleeve.
dry needling. Yeah, go back
Maybe
to the
go back
Don.
to
Go
this
back to
league.
the Don Joy braces.
all the way.
Please.
Maybe we're too technical.
That's what I'm saying. We're too
Maybe we've
much.
allowed too much medical
I think there's
people
something to
into
it.
the locker rooms where everybody's the smartest person in the room. We need to do this. We need to do that. Like,
Roll up the
maybe-
pre-wrap on the patella.
Yeah, maybe
do
we
it.
get back to the
Go old
basics
school.
and stop all these new machines and trying all of these new little gadgets and gadgets and all of that. Let's get back to the old-fashioned taped ankles.
High tops.
High
bring
tops.
Do
everything
kids
come
even
back.
tape anymore?
We're ankle braces now.
No tape.
No tape.
Like I remember when I played, there was a time slot for
Like,
like, a rookie
yeah.
to basically vet, and you had to go.
That's not a thing anymore at all?
I don't know. You're right.
telling you,
Last
man.
year I didn't
Yeah,
get taped.
I didn't know what to do.
I also didn't play.
Yeah.
There's something to
Me
this.
neither. I was
Too
an
much.
ankle brace guy. Yeah.
I think there's something to this. We do have like a little list of Wemby injuries so far in his career. Oh no, that's the schedule. Oh, well, we want to figure out if they're going to be all right. Look, they're 4-4 without him, I believe.
I'll tell you this: this is a favorable schedule, and again, I think it's going to be ups and downs here. But then there's going to be a huge hole defensively with him out, and they're going to have these guards kind of carry the load offensively. But that schedule, for the most part, it's not too
Grizzlies
bad.
tonight.
Yeah.
All right.
Grizzlies, Hawks, Suns, Blazers, like Grizzlies again. Like
Hawks play
road.
hard. Suns play hard.
Again,
Yeah.
there's not really an easy night. A couple of teams in the East, but still, you could. There's no teams are just going to lay down. So I think this is a little bit favorable, but this is when they got to get other production from those other guys. This is where Vassell needs to be.
Come
great.
on,
This is when
guys.
Keldon Johnson's going to be great. And this is also a great opportunity for Fox to get his legs back. Dylan Harper's going to come back in the lineup soon. Sohan's back now. Champagne's going to, like, these guys are just going to get more opportunity collectively with Wemby out just because he's such a big hole with him not on the floor.
And that's why we spoke about talent is at a premium. You need as much talent as you can in this league for scenarios like this when one of your best players are going to go out. You know, your best player gives you a great opportunity to win, but that's why you put other guys around them. That's why you have so many different role players. That's why you bring in a De'Aaron Fox, somebody who's been a 1A before that knows what it takes to get you over there. And then especially with the San Antonio Spurs as an organization, they are a plug-and-play organization. They have a style of play. They have a culture that they've created, a style that they like to go by. So I feel like they can get through this just fine with Wemby being out of the lineup. But again, that's why it's so important to have as much talent as you can, just in case the big dog goes down. You can still keep that ship steady.
And a couple weeks ago, we were thinking, what are they going to do with De'Aaron Fox? Like,
Yeah,
and
that was
now
fun.
it's like, well, now they're going to go like 3 guards. Now they're going to go 4 guards and like a big. So like now he's even more valuable, and it's even more of a luxury that they have him, and they're so deep at that position because now with Wemby out, they can be such a versatile lineup. We're going to see them go really, really small, I guarantee it, with like a Sohan or Harrison Barnes at 5.
Lobs to Cornette.
Keldon Johnson at 4, like, and then let those 3 guards just get out in transition and play fast. So it's going to be a different version of the Spurs than we're used to with Wemby on the floor.
They're 5th in the West right now. How do we feel about this? Couple weeks. They
I think
say
they
couple
maintain-
weeks, 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, they'll stay right
I
around there.
I think they maintain, especially with how unpredictable the West is right now anyways. And this is not the only team that's dealing with injuries.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are starting to deal with some 2 or 3 week guys being out. That's going to change the trajectory of their seasons as well. And so because of San Antonio and how they play defense, how they attack on the defensive end, you know, they had their rim protection with Wemby, but those guards, they were in those passing lanes and they were putting pressure on the ball and doing everything that they needed to do to make them competitive on the defensive end. So I think they steady the ship, and I think they'll be all right with the schedule coming up.
And when we didn't really look at the history of his injury, but it's nothing really glaring.
Nothing
it's
real.
like hip tightness and right
Those seem
ankle
normal,
and
right?
sore back. Besides the blood clot thing, which obviously that can be extremely
can be
dangerous.
scary.
This is all normal bumps and bruises that you get throughout a normal NBA season. So this isn't something like a Zion or Joel Embiid or a Paul George, like graphic injuries that we're thinking that he's had to deal with. So I think this is all maintenance thing. This is all stuff that's going to happen throughout his career. It's just a little scarier when you are the franchise face of the league growing up into this just monster right before our eyes, and you're 7'6". Like,
Yeah, people are like, ooh.
It's a little bit hold your breath every time he goes down. So that's the only scary part.
That's how you spell SOAS, P-S-O-A-S. Did I learn that today?
SOAS.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You
Heard
got
that word a lot.
SOAS.
Okay, we're done. You're done. You're on timeout.
I could help it. I'm sorry.
That was actually good. Ja Morant, another player, also happens to be the Grizzlies playing the Spurs tonight, but he's going to be out with a calf strain. That was announced yesterday. At least 2 weeks, grade 1. This injury took place, there you go, Saturday night against the Cavs. That was their 4th straight loss. This very grim in Memphis right now. 4-10 on the season. I don't know what you do with this team. Like, it's so early in the season, and yet it feels like there's no real hope. What do we do?
I mean, 4-10 is in a deep, deep, deep conference. It's not a great start, and now you're kind of your everything player who's already been in the headlines this year for outside noise goes down. And this is another interesting thing. Like when a guy like his athleticism and explosiveness, you would think it'd be a different kind of move rather than like a collision like that. So a grade 1 is good news. So this isn't something
it's great that it wasn't non-contact.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like the Halliburton where he goes to get back on defense and you see a pop or a strain. This is just more of like a bruise that will heal. And I think Ja should be back, quicker than Wemby, just given on the highlight in the report. But it's tough. You got Ja Morant, again, who were in the headlines all season long for the wrong reasons. Now he's out. They just get Zach Edey back. They found, lightning in a bottle with this rookie Coward. Besides that, there's been no real bright spots like on this team, and their free agent signing backup point guard Ty Jerome, he hasn't played at all this season yet, so now they would need him more than ever with Ja Morant out. Maybe he can get back in the rotation here, but it's just tough. It's when you look at the Western Conference, it's too good, it's too deep. So when you start off 4-10 like this, and now your best player goes out, it's a devastating blow for them.
That Ty Jerome is there. That's a weird transition.
He was great last year
now.
too.
I know.
He
get
needs
an
to get
opportunity
right
now for sure.
What happens to the trade value for Ja Morant, Lou? I mean, we're not going to see him for at least a couple more weeks, and everything that Chandler just mentioned. Like, what exactly is that plummeting?
I think it's still there. We're not going to discount the talent that Ja Morant has and how talented that he is. Obviously, the issues that he's dealing with the organization and dealing with his coach, now having a calf strain and having these injuries, it doesn't help his case at all. But once he gets back on the floor and you can see him be healthy, I think there's going to be some teams that's going to still call for him. And if I'm Memphis, I'm probably picking up the phone now and saying, you know what, this season looked like it's going down the drain really fast, and we're probably going to start over and redo this thing. And this gives them that opportunity to look at that and give it a real solid look to see what the future looks like with Ja Morant or without him.
Yeah, I think the trade value for him is pretty low right now, if I'm being honest with you. And I think it's
like,
just,
what is that? What's low?
I mean,
I
listen,
think the same teams that liked him before yesterday still do.
I think just the way the game has shifted in general. Not even talking about any of the distractions, the outside noise that he's been through, any of that stuff. I think just the way the game has shifted and the way he plays and his athleticism, once he loses that and then shooting has never been his strength, I just think that is going to enable kind of his potential in years to come. There's not, I think the best basketball of Ja Morant, I think we may have already seen that just based on the style of play. And I don't think he's just going to develop and turn into an elite jump shooter overnight, and that's the way the league is going. So when I see these trade options, and
we have seen guys improve in categories that they didn't.
I don't agree.
I think right now when you look across the league and you look at all these guards, I think there's a lot more elite scoring, shooting guards than him, and that's the way the league has been going the last couple of years.
I think there is still a window for Ja Morant.
Oh, I'm not saying he's done by any chance. I am just saying.
But even still, look at Brunson. He needed a new start, right? He needed a new start to be who he is. Halliburton, he needed a new start to become who he is. Look at Shea. Even though he got traded, new start to become who he is. This is an opportunity for him to go somewhere else. Let me get a fresh start. Let me find my joy again. Let me find that groove, because that's a real thing. Sometimes people don't understand, joy, you make millions of dollars. But in the workplace, when you go somewhere every day, you want to feel good and you want to feel confident in your abilities and in the scenario that you're in. And I think that's important for Ja Morant at this point of his career. So if he can get a fresh start, I think his name is right back in that conversation with everybody else.
I think he needs that fresh start. I think he needs it. You could just tell his demeanor, his attitude. Even I know it's media, and most players don't like doing media in the first place, but he's frustrated and he's not happy. He even said the joy word.
Joy is a big word.
The Jimmy Butler thing, again, like that, he seems miserable. So again, when you combine all the stuff that he's went through, now the health issues, now losing games, now he doesn't really, hit it off with the new head coach, his opportunity, his role. He's not in the game at the end of game situations. Yeah. These things are now kind of compiling into a disaster for him. And again, I just think it needs to fresh start. He needs a fresh scenery, but it's also on him to kind of be that leader and to be that player and to be that professional moving forward and not allow any of that other stuff question his on the court play, because when he plays, he's great and he's still must-watch TV and he's still one of the more entertaining players in the league. I just think the way the league is going with more shooting and outside perimeter shooting, it doesn't do him any favors.
Are there any mumblings? Do we know how the rest of the team has sort of taken to the new coach? Obviously, everyone's eyes are always on Ja and his relationship, but Have we heard anything coming out of Memphis?
I haven't, but you would think on a team like that, right? Like they had to have gone to like a Jaren Jackson and a Ja and said, hey, you're somewhat okay with this.
But didn't they
right?
also not interview the two guys that everyone was
Well,
like,
that comes with winning. Like you gotta earn.
4-10 never feels good.
Yeah, but also in the past, you gotta earn the right to have a opinion about personnel changes and who's going to coach the team and all of those things. I don't think they've put together enough of a winning culture for those guys to be the end-all be-all as far as decision-making goes about who's going to coach the team and who's going to be around. Now, maybe has there been a conversation or this and that? Sure, but you look at the last coach, right? You got to focus on that. So once you get one coach fired, you know that after that, we start looking at players. We don't look at the next coach. It goes coach, then players, not coach, then players. So right now, the players are on the hot seat right now. Those are the guys that's being looked at, especially